subtracting when you have to do borrowing. Let's start with this problem right here. 182 minus 159. Notice all the place values lined up so that the ones, tens, and hundreds are all lined up correctly. Now I want you to think of this top number as you, and it's what you have. So this is me. And the bottom number is what you're trying to give to someone. So I have 182. I'm trying to give them 159. I always start on right to glue it tight, and if I have 2, I can't give you 9. So I'm going to have it think about it in a slightly different way. Instead of just thinking about 2, I want you to actually think of it as 82. If I have 82, I can give you 9 no problem. 82, 81, 80, 79, 78, 77, 76, 75, 74, 73. Now I remember that when we do adding, I can't write all 73 down here, so I have to split it up. The 7 goes up top, the 3 goes down below. Now just so I don't get confused, I'm going to cross off the numbers I've used. I've used up the 82 and I used up the 9. Now I have 7 and I want to give you 5. Well, that's no problem. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. So I have 2 left over. And last but not least, I have 1. I want to give you 1. That means I don't get to keep any for myself. My answer is 23. Now in this next problem, it's not lined up correctly. I have 375 minus 28. I need to remember that this is my ones column, my tens column, and my hundreds column. And it probably would help for you just to write those right on top of the numbers and draw their place value right away so you can keep everything lined up when you have to do writing up and down. Now I need to put the 28 underneath it. I know the 8 is in the ones column and the 2 is in the tens column. Notice there's nothing in the hundreds, so I don't have anything in this place value right now. Now this top number is me, and this is what I'm trying to give you. If I have 5, I can't give you 8. So I'm going to think about it in a different way. Instead of think of 5, I want to think of it as 75. If I have 75, I can count back 8. 75, 74, 73, 72, 71, 70, 69, 68, 67. Now I can't write all 67 down here. That would be too crowded, so I have to split it up. Here's my 60 and my 7. I cross off everything I've used, so I used up the 75 and I used up the 5 and the 8. And now I move on to my next place value. If I have 6, I can give you 2, 6, 5, 4. Problem. And last but not least, if I have 3 and you don't want anything, that's even better for me. I get to keep all 3. So my answer is 347. Let's look at this next one. Notice I have my ones, my tens, and my hundreds all lined up. First thing, you start on right. If I have 6, I can't give you 8. I don't have enough. So how am I going to think of it differently? If you said think of it as 26, you would be correct. Can you count backwards 8 from 26 for me? 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. Now can I write all 18 down here? Nope, that would be too squishy. So I have 1, 10, and 8 ones. Now just to make sure we don't get confused, cross off those numbers we've used. We used up the 26 and we used up the 8. Now I have 1. Can I give you 9? Ooh, this is a tricky one. If I have 1, I can't give you 9. But fear not, we can think of it in a different way. This time we're going to think of it as 81. If we have 81, we can give you 9. So 81, 80, 79, 78, 77, 76, 75, 74, 73, 72. Now can I write all 72 down here? Nope, that would be too crowded. So I can put my 2 down and carry my 7. Now use up the number, or cross off the numbers used up. We used up our 81 and we used up the 9. Now I have 7 and I want to give you 4. Can I do that? Sure. If I have 7, I can give you 4. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I get to keep 3 for myself. My answer is 328. Now this is extra nice when you have zeros in a problem, because when you have a 0 in the problem, usually you would have to do double borrowing. This way I only have to think of it as one borrowing. If I have 3, I can't give you 6. And if I think of it by putting my box around here, that would still only be 3. That doesn't solve my problem of 3 can't give you 6. So I'm going to draw a giant box, and I'm going to think of it as 403 give you 6. Can you count backwards with me? Start with 403, then go 402, 401, 400, 399, 398, 397. Now, I can't write 397 all down here. That would be way too tight. So I just start writing it like normal. 390, except the 7 does get to go down here. And if you forget and you write your 7 up here, no big deal. All you'd have to do is drop it back down because you know that you're ready to put something down here. Now cross off what you've used. We used up our 403 and we used up our 6. You go to your tens place value. If you have 9, or if I have 9, can I give you 3? Sure. 9, 8, 7, 6. I get to keep 6 for myself. And last but not least, after I've crossed those off, I have 3, you want 2. I get to keep 1 for myself then, because 3, 2, 1. So you can see, you can think of it in a different way. You can clump your place value together, and it might be an easier way for you to try. I have 4 problems right here. I want you to go ahead and copy them down on your whiteboard, and I want you to practice solving them with the boxes. Even if that isn't your perfect way of doing it, for right now, I still want you to practice in that way. So you might end up clumping together 61 instead of just 1. Go ahead, copy it down, solve the problems, and then check it against the movie. You may need to pause right now so that you can solve your work. Just go ahead and start it again when you're ready to check. Okay, welcome back. Remember, this top number is you. This is what you're trying to give to someone. So if you have 1, you can't give someone 2. You don't have enough. So you have to think of it as 61. If you have 61, you can give away 2, no problem. 61, 60, 59. Now I can't write all 59 down here. That'd be way too scrunchy. So I'm going to write 5 on top and 9 down below. If you have 5, you can give someone 1. 5 minus 1 equals 4. And if you have 7, you can give someone 6. No problem, you have 1. Now I forgot to do my crossing off because I'm used to this way, but make sure when you got done with that 61 that you crossed that off in your 1 and 2. When you got done with your 5 and 1, you crossed it off, and when you got done with your 7 and 6, you crossed it off. Just make sure that you don't accidentally redo some subtracting. On this next problem, you had 270 minus 69, but it's not written in the way that we're used to. So you probably wanted to draw those place value lines and make sure you stayed organized. Remember, this was your 1s, your 10s, and your 100s. In 69, the 6 is a 10, and the 9 is a 1. Now you can go ahead and do your subtracting, and it is okay just to leave this blank because there aren't any hundreds. Now if you have 0, you can't give someone 9, so you probably had to start clumping things together. Think of it as 70 instead of just 0. 70 take away 9 is kind of like 70 take away 10, which would be 60. But since I didn't take away all 10, I only took away 9, I'm going to still have 61. Now I can't write 61 down here, that's too scrunchy. So 6 goes on top and 1 goes down below. Now I've used up my 70 and I used up my 9. I cross them off just to make sure I don't make any silly mistakes. If I have 6, I can give you 6. I just don't get to keep anything for myself, so I write the 0 down. If I have 2 and you don't want anything, then I get to keep all 2. Your answer should have been 201. On this next problem, you may have been pretty excited. If you have 9, you can give someone 2. That's no problem. 9 minus 2 equals 7. Just for keeping routine, you might have crossed those off because you're done with those numbers. Now on this next one, though, if you have 2, you can't give someone 7. So you might have tried clumping it together. Now I have 62. If I have 62, I can give away 7, 61, 60, 59, 58, 57, 56, 55. Now I can't write all 55 down here, that's too tight, so I'm going to write 5 top and 5 on bottom because that would say 55. I've used up these, I've used up these. Now I just have my 5 minus 3 left. 5 take away 3 is 2. I've used up all my numbers. I found my answer is 257. On this last problem, if I have 2, I certainly can't give you 3, so you had to clump it together. Instead of thinking of it as 2, think of it as 42. 42, count back 3, is 41, 40, 39. Now can you write all 39 down here? Nope. So you're going to put your 3 on top and your 9 down below. Now crossing off what I've used, I used up my 42 and I used up my 3. If I have 3, I can give you 2. That's not a problem. 3 minus 2 equals 1. Cross all those off. We use them all up. If I have 1, I can give you 1. That's no problem. That would leave me nothing left. So my answer is just 19. And if you just wrote 19 down at the bottom, that's okay too. So this is just one strategy you could try. If you like big bottom borrow better and it's working for you, you can continue to use that. But for some kids, clumping it together is easier because then you just count backwards. Choose the strategy that works for you and go ahead and practice using that strategy. You may want to watch that video again just so you can become an expert on it. Good luck!